transferred back home. All right, gentlemen, let's begin this way. Looking at this, let's begin this way. On what legal grounds did the Nigerian delegation base its requests for Senator Ekwerimadu's repatriation? And were those arguments compelling enough?
Well, I wouldn't say compelling enough, judging by the results.
Okay.
I mean, the reported results. But Nigeria was acting on its rights based on agreements that were made. I think I am made to understand that in 2014, I think that was around January 2014, there was an agreement between the government of Nigeria and the government of the United Kingdom and Northern and Ireland to have a kind of prisoner transfer system put in place. And I think it went to law around September, that same 2014. So by asking or by reaching out to the British legal system or the Justice Department to repatriate the prisoner, I think the Nigerian government was doing what it believed was within its legal or diplomatic rights. Okay. So I don't think they were, trying to go beyond the bounds. But what comes up now is to know whether the argument was strong enough. You know, you have to look at this case beyond all those ordinary cases. This is somebody of substance. And according to the judge, when the judgment was made, this was like a kind of monumental fall from grace. Okay. And by trying to look at this kind of case, the British government want to set an example. And for you to be able to convince them to have to do this transfer, you'll be able to give them enough reason to believe that all those political problems at home will not affect your agreement. Okay. You are not expected to come back to Nigeria and set this man free. He has to continue to serve his jail term. That's the agreement. And you have to give the guarantee that when he's there in Nigeria, it continues. There will be no political whatever trying to stand in the way of what has been done in the UK. Because at least he has to serve a particular period of time before he's given, even if it's going to be a kind of parole or reprieve or whatever. So I am not sure from the British perspective that maybe the argument from the Nigerian side was good enough. Okay. But, you know, we also have to look at it beyond what has been happening regarding our diplomatic power nowadays. Sometimes it depends on the persuasion, the kind of persuasive power you give, the assurances that you give. And also, we've been having a lot of issues with even our own judicial system. A lot of this will be taken into consideration. But sometimes I think it's about time Nigeria start assessing its diplomatic power.
Oh, okay.
And I think that's, for now, that's about what I was.
All right. He has raised very valid points. But does this rejection amount to implicit vote of no confidence in Nigeria's capacity to enforce these high-profile sentences, you know, without, what he said, political interference?
Well, I think the basic reason, like Shola said, the basic reason why the UK turned down the request of Nigeria is premised on one basic fact, that
which is
releasing him would not serve, quote and unquote, the interest of justice.
Okay.
Interest of justice. Somebody has committed an offense, has been found guilty. They are trying to say that nobody is above the law. We are all equal before the law. There are several Nigerians serving several jail terms in UK for even lesser offenses. Okay. They are saying that the federal government didn't make a request for that. It's coming for Ekweremadu because, quote and unquote, is a VIP or VVIP prisoner. They said to them, it's released to the Nigerian government. They are not sure it will serve the interest of justice. And that they are not sure that if he leaves UK and come back to complete his 9-year
Sentence.
in Nigeria, out of which I think he had served more than 2 years, and I was convicted and jailed in 2023, that they are not sure that he will be in Sokoto, where Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is, or rather, he will be in some, there are some prisons in Nigeria where even people, they give back. I mean, you can impregnate they were arranged for you to impregnate your wife.
Oh, okay. Conjugal visits.
Yes. There was a prison where this lady was staying. She.
Oh, Bobrisky.
And they said he paid for a particular apartment, but they gave him another one in a prison in Nigeria. So they are not deaf to some of these things. They read all this stuff.
So it's a vote of confidence on our Nigerian capacity to enforce.
A vote of no confidence,
rather.
That's what I'm saying. Yes. So because I said, I mean, a Justice Department official who spoke to the Guardian of London said, basically, is that they are not sure that releasing him to us will serve the interests of justice, and that nailed it. So, the former governor of Delta was Ibori was free in Nigeria, but
when he got
over there, he had to plead for. In fact, it was a plea bargain because they told him, young man, the longer this process, the judicial process, the longer it continues, the longer your chances of getting more years behind bars, because the government will factor in the amount of money and resources they are putting into your prosecution. So by the time they weigh the options, they gave him a very short sentence because of the plea bargain. So it's like they don't believe in our in the capacity of our justice this time to serve that justice to some high net worth individuals. Only Yahoo boys who steal goats, who steal pencil, or who take 10,000 naira or 150,000 naira will get 21 years.
But when it comes to high-profile cases,
somebody who stole 21 billion pension fund paid how much? 750,000.
750,000.
So he gave them 1 million and said they should keep the change. They are taking judicial notice of all these things. So
should that not be a wake-up call, for us as a country?
Well, I think Justice Kudratu Ekweremadu is trying to.
She has her work cut out.
Yeah, but, I mean, she's making some reforms, but for a system that has been long, declared quote unquote rotten, it takes a lot of time. It's not something that you wake up one day and get fixed.
Absolutely. All right, gentlemen, let's move straight to our next conversation. The United Nations has intensified calls on Nigeria to protect its learning spaces as mass student abductions continues to rise. The UN Secretary General spokesperson Stephanie Dujarric urged the immediate and safe release of all abducted students in Kebbi and Niger State, noting that attacks on schools violate children's fundamental right to education. The appeal follows a surge in kidnappings this week, heightening public concern and renewed demands for stronger security in schools. Okay, the United Nations renewed pressure on Nigeria to protect its citizens, especially the learning spaces, which is the schools. But what do you make of the UN's renewed pressure on Nigeria?
Well, the times call for it. I mean, you can see a spike. We're just getting over Kebbi, Niger Kebbi.
Yes.
And, it's before the entire world. Nigeria is part of the United Nations, and the security of innocent students, our educational system, because the UN has been so much concerned about the development of Nigeria through education. But when education is in serious jeopardy by preventing children from going to school because of fear, by kidnapping children from schools, it becomes an international issue. And the government has to be called to question. And that's why this is coming up. And now it's left for us, you know, whether we like it or not, whatever the UN may say, the buck stops on the table of we Nigeria. The Nigerian government has to be able to wake up, rise up to this new challenge.
Absolutely.
I mean, we all now know that perhaps the kidnappers see a kind of space where they can operate from. Then the government has to look at a way of seriously blocking that space and giving more, I mean, impetus to our security strategies to be able to secure the schools. We have to know how to modernize our approach. You could see the schools being raided. There is a kind of peculiarity about that. Remote, you know, not like, you know, we don't have such in cluster areas. There has to be a way the government will find approach, getting more security into those areas to prevent the, you know, it's like you go freely and you take children freely without, being stopped. And, you know, so you have to do your best as a government that's concerned about the interest of your students. I
mean, BKO gave a suggestion yesterday that for schools in those not unprotected areas and that are still running boarding facilities, they should stop boarding facilities, especially in those areas.
I think that's the reason why we now see the government trying to close some schools, unity schools, those areas. But for how long are we going to do that?
The right approach?
That's what I'm asking. How long are we going to continue? There has to be a way to prevent these things happening, not just chasing children. By taking them out of the school, they already have a system. There is a curriculum. There are systems put in place. It's being disrupted every day. So you have to find a way to stop these disruptions. And how? You have to set up a system that prevents the kidnappers from getting in.
We're still going to talk about that. I mean, now the UN is now putting pressure on Nigeria to protect its citizens and stop this kidnapping, the learning spaces. But what additional support should the UN provide to help Nigeria in strengthening protection of its citizens and especially around schools? Supports like, you know, technical, financial, or?
Yeah, there's no doubt that we need help.
Yes.
We need help. I mean, we need help for the present time, so to say, in terms of security, intelligence gathering, and equipment. There is no better time that we need this more than now, because it's now becoming really, really embarrassing. You wake up in a day and the next thing you hear is they have
another school.
I mean, even for somebody who owns a poultry, before you can gather 10 or 15 birds, it will take you some time, even if they are in a cage. I mean, those are birds, so they are not human beings. These guys, in the space of 2 weeks, 300 and between 215 and 327 school children were abducted. It is an embarrassment. We don't need the United Nations to tell us that. We need a serious solution, a new approach to this embarrassing situation.
Absolutely.
We don't need a Donald Trump to tell us that we are acting in a disgraceful manner, that it needs to come and wade in. We don't need him to tell us. I mean, I know the president is trying, but he needs to do more. And the new service chiefs, it is a wake-up call. I mean, you don't have any time to actually settle down. You must hit the ground, not running now, flying. Because, I mean, any more abduction or kidnap, be it schools or churches or place of worship or mosque. I mean, the first job of a government is protection of the citizens.
Section
Life
14.
and property, Section 14 of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. So there should be no excuse. We can't all now be providing security for ourselves. So why do we have a government? Why are we paying taxes? There should be no excuse. It's zero tolerance for excuses. But I think, I mean, the president just changed some service chiefs. I mean, but maybe it still needs to rejig.
To rejig again?
Yes, so that until we get it right. Because we can't, I mean, this is something that we don't need a UN. And, see, in US, there's a New York Police Department.
Okay.
Texas, New York Police Department, they are from the New York area, so they understand the area. You won't bring, you won't take Majid Jamiu as a police officer to Kebbi, that it will take me 1 year to understand the terrain.
System.
I mean, but if a Majid Jamiu as a police officer is in Ekiti State, where I know almost, I can stay in a particular place and picture the
ins and out of the area.
In and out of the area. So I don't need more than a week to settle down there. So I think we should review some of these things. Yes, the police is federal, but the call for state police is something that we should take heed to. And that is why we have less security concerns in the Southwest, because of the way Amotekun has held firmly there.
All right. Well,
kudos to the late
Ekweremadu. Before we go to the Amotekun, you talked about there should be a system. Now, Nigeria is a signatory to the Safe School Declaration. Okay, but how is Nigeria measuring up to the commitments made under, under that framework?
Well, we can, because the scorecard is nothing to write home about. So you can't really say we are measuring up. But the only thing is, like he said, we have to wake up. It's a wake-up call. We have not been able to live up to the standards of that initiative. And it's because this is becoming a recurrence that should not be in the first instance. I mean, we started from Chibok girls, we went to, what's the name of Dapchi. Now we're talking of Kebbi, we're talking of Niger, we're talking of, I mean, we don't even know where it's coming up next. So we have to know how to rejig our approach. There are standards set up. Before you can be a signatory, there are standards set up. Are we living up to those standards? Are we ready to really go the whole hog? And, beyond, we're talking about, getting the military involved fully, or, changing the way the military strategies we're using. But there are still other things we have to do. We have to know how to really improve on our intelligence gathering. He spoke about employing people who understand the terrain into local police organizations. The state police thing is very, very necessary now, because that's about time.
Why haven't we,
when you want to gather intelligence, you need to understand the language. You need to understand the mentality of the people. You need to understand, you have to think ahead of the kidnappers. And you have to understand that these people are within those communities. They work with them. They go into the street. We saw a wedding ceremony recently when you could see bandits with ammunition attending. There are communities where people know where they can find these kidnappers.
For them to
they come to the town to buy things. They get supplies from the towns. So there is a way we have to rejig our intelligence gathering system to be able to. We have to think ahead of them. I have to repeat that. And also get the local people involved seriously in the fight.
Now that you mentioned the local people, Ondo Amotekun has now adopted new strategies, to secure the schools. But let's talk about that. Looking at the successes, they call it Operation Lewonjade. Now, is there a strategy for the Amotekun to encourage residents to report suspicious movements, especially within the border towns?
in between 2018 and 2020, when there was a prevalence of kidnapping in the Southwest, the Southwest governors then came up with the idea of Amotekun, and with the chief commander as Arakunrin, the late Arakunrin Ekweremadu Aketi. May God continue to bless his soul. What they did then was Amotekun corps, local hunters, soldiers, mobile police, they went into teams and they went into the forests. The local hunters knows the nooks and crannies of our forest. So they were able to chase out potential kidnappers, bandits, and even terrorists from most of the forests in the Southwest. And where there was some resistance, I mean, they mobilized and there was relative peace, except in some localized cases, of course, where you would chase them and some splinter groups will come back. Now, one embarrassing thing about what happened in Kebbi was the fact that there was an intelligence report. The governor got the report, sent a signal to the military or security agencies. They were in that school. They mobilized to the school. They were there till 12 midnight. They said, oh, I mean, nothing will happen. They left at 12. And those characters came 4 a.m. So,
although the DHQ is investigating, they are probing, you know.
And another thing we also need to probe is the enemy within. How can a brigadier general just be captured and slaughtered like a fowl? Does he not have troops? It's like, I don't understand. There should be a probe who leaked his movement, to whom was the WhatsApp message that has now gone viral via one platform. Who leaked that to Sahara reporters, where those bandits probably might have got this thing. So, back to Amotekun.
All right, just hold that thought. We have Boniface joining us all the way from Jos. Boniface, you have the floor. Hello, Boniface, can you hear me? Okay, I think the network. Okay, just land on your thought, then we continue.
So, the Amotekun security network has worked in the Southwest, although there has been some lapses. And I think the meeting of the Southwest governors in Ibadan yesterday is the major focus there was beefing up security in the Southwest. They don't want to wait till there will be a strike. So they are trying to nip it in the bud. And I learned that, of course, we are not going to disclose most of the details. But I think there are plans to beef up Amotekun and support security operatives and give them more boost with the local hunters and what have you, so that there could be information, like Shola said. These people, if they keep 50 people or 25 people somewhere, they will come to town to buy bread and water for them. They need supplies. I mean, they are not ghosts.
All right, gentlemen, we need to go on this quick break. When we return, the conversation continues. Don't go away.
GSM cable. Great quality, now with the new look.
Some call it Black Friday, Africans call it when you shop every day like it's a holiday, oh. Discount to prices so sharp, all you want on. A Black Friday like you've never seen before. Then you go and I say, thank God it's Yakata. Prices go for Yakata.
Conga Yakata. From 1st to 30th of November 2025. Sharp genuine products at affordable prices and delivered with peace of mind.
The Zynox Computerized Nigeria Initiative, the CNP, is more than technology. It's transformation. Zynox is closing the digital divide. We provide affordable computers to millions, tearing down financial barriers to technology access.
It's a complete ecosystem. We include the device, plus reliable Starlink internet, iPower backup, and essential 24/7 support.
Zynox is helping schools move from old books to a modern, digitized learning system.
The CNP is also for business growth. We equip SMEs and corporations with the same tools, boosting productivity and efficiency nationwide.
This drives economic growth. We create direct jobs, agents, trainers, and fuel a powerful, knowledge-driven economy.
We guarantee total accountability. Donors receive transparent quarterly reports verifying every investment makes a positive impact. Digital access for every Nigerian, powered by Zynox.
Zynox. Anticipate the future.
Progress no dey happen just like that. It dey come from support when you need am.
Mommy, I got the school fees. You too much.
Na money point oh.
Money point, thank you.
Customer, na transfer abi? Confirm.
Bro, na transfer.
Na money point oga. Oh, na confirm.
Progress na peace of mind when you know say payment go land as sure banker. Progress na small wind where they carry person go far.
No worry, yourself go make am. Mo go Bible.
Victor, even you they use money point?
Of course now, they use money point.
Confirm.
Money point, made for your
All right, if you just joined us, it's still Journalist Hangout. I still have Shola Joseph right here and Majid Jami still with us. Okay, still talking about security. What Amotekun is doing. But do you think the Nigerian government is doing enough, to integrate traditional rulers, religious leaders, and local security networks into, security planning to see them as the first line of defense?
I think we have to understand our culture. In Nigeria, I mean, the Yoruba land, Hausa land, Fulani, we have a lot of reverence for our traditional rulers.
Okay.
Sometimes, especially in the north, a decision by the Sultan or by the Emir of Kano, Emir of Zazzau, goes a long way, sometimes more than a decision from the federal government, because of the kind of attachment that our people have for the traditional institutions. And having seen this, I think it's about time we started looking at the possibility of getting the traditional institutions more involved.
Just
because
hold
of
that
the
thought.
importance. Yes.
Apologies. Okay, just hold that thought. We have Thomas from Calabar. Thomas, go ahead.
Yes, good evening.
Yes, good evening.
Okay, so I just briefly want to say that it's quite unfortunate that Nigeria has, let me not say lost, but made ourselves a laughing stock in the international scene. I'm talking about the Ekwerimadu's rejection. You see, like one of your speakers said, we have lost faith, or the world has lost faith in our judicial system, so much so that they don't even trust. Maybe, they just had the feeling that right from the plane, before he even touches the ground, he would have been given a presidential pardon already. He would announce his decamping from his party, the PDP, to APC, and be used for political purposes. So these are all the things that we face out there. For those of us who most times go out there, you can't even stand and talk shoulder to shoulder with people from other parts of the world because they just look down like you are from Nigeria. You're talking about a particular thing when you can't practice it in your own area.
Thank you. But I don't think it's fair to say that when you just preempt that once it comes to Nigeria, they give him a straight pardon, he defects to a political... I don't think that's a fair thing to say. What do you think? I don't think it's a fair thing to say.
Yeah, it's rather unfair. Yes, we might have some issues with our judicial system, but then it won't be...
It's not such a blanket...
No, it won't be a situation where they will call Ekweremadu if, I mean, the UK government accedes to the request of Nigeria, then you come to Nigeria, then you will defect from PDP to APC and Ahaba.
No, we don't glorify crime in Nigeria. That's not a fair
take
thing
it to that level.
No, that's not a fair thing to say. That's not a fair thing to say. I just have to give him a chance to just talk. He's entitled
to his opinion.
It's not a fair thing to say. But all right, gentlemen, let's move straight to our next conversation. The struggle for power within the People's Democratic Party, PDP, is set to take a tougher turn as supporters of the Minister of the FCT, Nyesom Wike, have approached the Federal High Court in Abuja to challenge the legitimacy of the party's November 15 to 16th National Convention in Ibadan. The faction is asking the courts to declare the convention invalid and bar the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, from recognizing any officers or decisions from it, citing pending judgments that question the validity of the required 21-day notice issued for the event. All right, gentlemen. Majid, how crucial or critical is this claim by loyalists, loyalists to the FCT minister that the PDP acted in contempt of multiple federal high court judgments?
Wike will be the final nemesis of PDP.
Why do you say so?
Because, when you fail to act, when you fail to nip something in the bud, and it grows to become an iroko tree, you now attempt to be using cutlass.
Trim it.
Or you can't even trim then, you have to be cutting. That is what Wike has become to PDP. When it was just a bud, just that you can use your hand to
just germinating.
They didn't do anything. Now, Wike has become an iroko. And Atiku saw that. I thought that it would be one of the undertakers. But he's a very smart man.
Iran.
He escaped. He used the life jacket like the president suggested. He used the life jacket. Now, another person that is planning to use the life jacket is the dancing governor, Adeleke. Because from this suit now, it is almost evident that the first major casualty will be Ekiti and Osun. So Ekiti, there is no opposition to APC in Ekiti. The only opposition in APC in Ekiti is within APC, and that has been resolved in favor of Viodun Yebanji has emerged as the candidate.
Okay, but that's a conversation for another day.
On this PDP matter, Shegun, PDP will not have a candidate in 2027 from the way they are going, except they go and appease Wike. Because from what he's saying now, he said the judgments, there's 3 judgments.
Yes.
The one of October 31, the interim and final rulings of November 11 and 14 in the Sule Lamido versus PDP case, and the May 31, 2023 decision in Wike versus PDP. has invalidated the 21-day notice signed by Anyanwu to convene the November 15-16 Convention of Ibadan. If the court opposes that, then they'll be back to square one. And that's why I said last week on this program, myself and Jide, I said, they are preparing for Fidao. They have done the janaza. That's bathing of the dead body. From a small malaria that could not be treated in 2015 became typhoid and COVID in 2019. 2023, it couldn't be managed. It went to a coma. Now, towards 2027, it's brain dead. So it's just for the doctor to say, remove the oxygen, and they are going for Fidao.
You don't think that citing these judgments that you mentioned, you don't see them as the interpretation of politically motivated?
Wike is like Buruji Kashamu.
The late Buruji Kashamu.
The late Buruji Kashamu. He has never lost a case that I know. Even if he loses one at High Court and the appeal, he will win at Supreme. This case, we get to Supreme. Before it gets to Supreme Court, primaries will have been concluded.
I mean, how do you weigh in here? I mean, how damaging is the PDP courtroom battle?
I think what they've been running away from may be the final solution.
Which is?
Because if they go the legal way, you could see that the wicked team, they have done their homework. And I'm afraid for that convention, one thing, we have to still investigate why INEC stayed away from that. Why didn't they attend? What happened? What was INEC thinking? Is INEC waiting in the wing to allow the legal fireworks to be concluded, and they will take their own decision based on their own legal advice?
But according to the Electoral Act, Section 82, it says INEC may
or may not.
May.
But
the 21 days is sacrosanct.
It is. And so, what do we have? If we go the legal way, then the problem continues. Why can't these people now find a way of reaching out? Sometimes you leave law, you come to the negotiation table. If that party needs, that's what I'm going to, if that party really needs to get its act together and really make any impact and not be dead on arrival in 2027, I think there has to be a lot of rethinking.
Looking at what Majid said,
yes.
What scenarios could emerge depending on whether the court upholds or nullifies? What scenarios may emerge?
Well, it's not like the devil's alternative. I'm telling you. If they, the house is divided against itself, that convention will come if they come to the negotiation table. There has to be an agreement from both sides. If there is no agreement, whichever way the law pendulum swings, is still a problem. I'm telling you, because there's the need for them to go beyond the legalities. If you look at the pros and cons of it.
We have someone joining in. Yes. Olori Egbe, thank you so much for joining us on the show.
Yeah. Hello, good evening.
Yes, good evening. Let's talk.
Yeah. Okay, I want to talk about this today being kidnapped in various states.
Okay.
You see, the problem, my own contribution, what I know, the problem of this country is our legislature, which is the Senate and the rest. If they actually mean to serve the people, they cannot tell us they don't know what is going on. They cannot tell us they don't know who and who. Within them also, within the military, within the police, they have now used it as a business. It is the truth. Let them sit down and make laws. Okay. If anybody is caught, any kidnapper, any bandit, whoever, they should deal with them. The latest one we had last week, a kidnapper, we are giving them 20 years imprisonment. It is wrong.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Although we've gone past that conversation. But just like what I asked, what scenarios do you think could emerge? If the court upholds or nullifies, the Ibadan Convention. A fresh convention, caretaker committees, or?
It's a very difficult case for the PDP.
Dicey.
Very, very dicey. And the wicked that I know, it will tell you the first thing for you to do to settle this matter is for you to first go and lift the expulsion order.
Okay.
And I doubt if Bode George and Seyi Makinde, who is now the new kid on the block in PDP, Seyi Makinde now owns PDP, is the leader of the PDP now. And that's why some people like Lamido are saying, we founded this party. Seyi Makinde came in at Maghrib, in the evening. So those are some of the issues. They said you can't come in the evening and be sacking somebody who
has been there,
from day one. So that's one of the reasons. And Wike is saying, come, I'm a foundation member of this party. Yes, I'm on loan as a minister under APC, but then I'm a member of PDP. You cannot expel me from the party.
He has not decamped.
Yes, he has not decamped. He dared them. And they said, no, you can't be daring us and be
But this is the same Nyesom
so,
Wike who is actually supporting the 2027 ambition of the president.
Yeah, but Wike said it's not saying anybody should not vie under PDP, but that he would support Tinubu because all the things that PDP claims to do, Tinubu is doing it. And they say it's a turn of the South that even if there's a presidential candidate from the southern part of the country, that he will still, from the PDP or any other party, he will still support Tinubu because Tinubu is, doing the
everything that's
manifesto
of the PDP.
Of the PDP. Because PDP said they will remove subsidy, they will float Naira. So he said he's doing everything. So he has no
I don't see that as anti-party.
Well, it's with APC.
Yes,
round up that conversation.
The anti-party thing is also boils down. It boils down to the fact that when a house is divided against itself, Wike has his own, because of what he felt, is an aggrieved person because of what happened in 2015. He felt shortchanged, and he believed that all these things are still there. There is no sign. And you don't expect him, he has his own power, his strength, and you don't expect him to just relinquish it without having any assurances from other party members. That's why I told you earlier that whatever is going to solve this, I don't even think it's going to be the legal thing. There has to be a way of going back to the drawing board pre-2015 and resolve all those issues. If they are not resolved, I'm afraid PDP will remain the same till 2027.
You have to sit down on the table to resolve this matter.
Yes.
All right, gentlemen, we need to go on this quick break, and when we return, the conversation continues. Don't go away.
The Vice-Chancellor, Confluence University of Science and Technology, Kostek Osara, Kogi State, Engineer Professor Abdurrahman Aspita Salau, on behalf of the University Council, Senate, management, staff, students, and the entire university community, cordially invites the general public to the maiden convocation of the first and second graduates of the university, which holds as follows. Thursday, 27th November 2025, this is press briefing, time 10 a.m., venue, Senate Chamber, Kostek Osara. Friday, 28th, convocation lecture titled Ill Health, Illiteracy, Siblings Alliance Against Development. Convocation lecturer, His Excellency Dr. Olusegun Mimiko, former governor of Ondo State. Venue, Faculty of Law Auditorium, Kostek Osara. Time 10 a.m. Saturday 29. Convocation ceremony, Investiture of Chancellor, awards of degrees and prizes to deserving graduates. Time 10 a.m. Venue, Convocation Arena, Kostek Osara, Kogi State. Special guest of honor, Alhaji Ahmed Usman Ododo, Executive Governor, Kogi State and visitor to the university. Ms. Olufunke Hudson, Registrar, Kostek Osara. Announcer.
Guys, food is ready.
Cook to impress.
That sounds great. And we'll make sure we do another live when that happens. How about that?
Progress doesn't always start big. Sometimes it starts with believing
Did you miss me?
and showing up for the life you're building. Making quiet moves.
Baby, I love you pieces.
Did you enjoy your meal?
Lovely.
Fantastic.
Progress marks your small and your big wins.
Good news, we've got the loan.
Money points?
Yes, money point.
Abuja, here we come.
But progress looks different for everyone. And MoneyPoint is here to walk it with you.
Hey, Victor Osimhen, and you use money points as well?
Of course I use money.
Blending in.
All right, welcome back to the show. Let's go straight to our final conversation. Desperate times call for desperate measures, especially when the peace and stability of the nation are being threatened by terrorists. This prompted President Bola Tinubu to order the withdrawal of police officers attached to very important persons, VIPs nationwide, directing that they be reassigned to core policing duties. In this regard, the Special Protection Unit, SPU, has begun mass withdrawal of police officers from VIP escorts and beat assignments nationwide, enforcing President Tinubu's directive. The move aims to redirect manpower to underserved communities facing escalating security threats across the country. In Lagos, a memo signed by the commanding officer of the SPU base 16, Neji Veronica, instructed all personnel deployed to VIPs and beats to return to base before the close of business on November 24. Majid, what's your take on this story?
I would say it's all rhetorics.
Rhetorics?
This is not the first time we are getting this.
But this is the first time it's coming from the president.
Well, the first time from Tinubu, and I hope they will obey, because it's quite embarrassing. You go, ordinary citizens that they don't even have any network. They even use the police to draw attention to themselves. Market women having 2 police escorts. It is a matter of who can pay. It shouldn't be like that. We are under-policed already.
Yes.
We have less than 400,000 police, about 371,800 for about 200 million people. That's about an average of 1 policeman to 650. As against a conventional 1 to 450 recommended by the United Nations.
Yes.
So out of the 371,000, you discover that those attached to VVIPs could be up to 100,000. So even if you assume that the 371,000 are doing their job, protecting lives and property and not just VVIPs, we will still need an additional 190,000 policemen to meet the UN standard of 1 to 450. But then, good news, the president has said we can take in 30,000. Maybe in the next 4 years, we are taking 30,000, probably increase to 50,000. We should be able to at least meet up, because as we are taking in these ones, some are also retiring. But the key point is, I love the statement from the president this time, and I hope they will fully implement. Civil defense should be the ones protecting VIPs.
But they have to protect national assets.
Now they say, well, at least for those VIPs who believe that, yes, they must be protected, they should use civil defense.
You don't think it's going to compromise their core national goods?
Yeah, I think we can recruit more, and at least let the police, people still see the police and feel that, yes, they have more firepower than civil defense. So if more of the policemen are deployed to underserved areas, we will see some police stations in some interlands. You see just 1 policeman there, or probably just 2 policemen there.
That's not fair. How does the police hierarchy, intend to ensure full compliance? Looking at the fact that this thing has happened before, and even the VIPs, resisted the withdrawal of this police officers.
The commander-in-chief has given an order, and the onus is on the Inspector General of Police to implement that order. We are under an emergency, whether declared or not. There is a state of emergency on our security in Nigeria. And under an emergency, you don't take chances. Individuals, the interest of individuals, whether money bags or whatever, cannot supersede the national interest.
Yeah.
You have to understand, in fact, I have to urge all these so-called VIPs to be more patriotic. They may feel they are secure, but one way or the other, whatever affects the entire nation affects them. And on that note, they have to understand the need to comply, the need to be patriotic when we're talking of this particular matter. So it has to go across the board, right from the presidency to the lowest rank. This thing must be implemented. We don't have enough manpower to secure our nation, and some people will be coveting security forces.
Then what should we do when the VIPs now, some of the VIPs now try to resist?
The VIP are not above the law.
The police withdraw.
We know one thing about Nigeria is we have the problem of enforcing the